Hello, I wanted to model today one of our division strategies for dividing decimals. In fifth grade, we teach them a variety of strategies, the algorithm a little bit this year due to our new curriculum. A lot of what they're going to see is using models in some way, hundreds grids, using base 10 blocks to break apart decimals or even whole numbers into groups. So today I'm going to model 92 hundredths divided by 4 and kind of show how we would solve this problem in class. The first thing they need to do is model their dividend. This is 92 hundredths, which is the same as 9 tenths and 2 hundredths. So I'm going to start by drawing my 9 tenths. Here's 1 tenth, 2 tenths, 3 tenths, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tenths. And then I have 2 hundredths, which we model by just drawing little dots. Now, we talk in class, it's super important that they are organized in their drawing and that they are very clear what's a tenth, what's a hundredth. When we model whole values, we draw one square just so that they don't get lost in their work. Now, after I model my dividend, I'm going to model my divisor, which is what I'm dividing this into. I'm equally sharing into 4 groups. I like to draw circles for these, just again so that they're different from the rest of my pictures in my model. Now what I need to do is equally distribute this dividend into my groups. And I always tell them here at this point, everybody might do it a little bit differently. What they should be doing is looking for patterns in their numbers so that they're not just going 1, 2, 3, 4. They can do that. Eventually they'll get to the right answer, but sometimes depending on their numbers and the problem, it can take a long time. It's not as efficient. They can make mistakes. So I always tell them, look at your dividend for what you can do already without having to regroup first. And also that would make it easier. So I know I have 4 groups and I know I have 9 tenths. I'm going to think through my facts. Well, I know that I could equally distribute 2 tenths into 4 groups if I had 8. So I could have done 2 at a time, just again to be a little more efficient. Now I'm going to use one more tenth into each of my 4 groups. And I do tell them to cross them off as they do it and to make sure they go once all the way through so that they don't miss count and so that they know what they've already used. Now I can clearly see I still need to distribute 1 tenth and 2 hundredths. Now, if I don't have enough tenths to put equally in each group, I need to regroup my tenths. I know that there are 10 hundredths and 1 tenth. So I'm going to cross this one out and give myself 10 hundredths. And another suggestion I give them is to, when you're making hundredths, put them in groups of 5. It just, again, can make math a little bit easier. I still have these 12 hundredths that I need to distribute. And again, this is where I would tell them to kind of pause and think. I could go one at a time, but if they are confident in their math facts, hopefully they'll realize, well, I have 12 hundredths here and I have 4 groups. I know that I can evenly distribute 3 of these hundredths into each group, and that would be 12. So I'm going to do 3 at a time. Crossing them off as I go. And I can see that I've distributed everything in my model. I know now that I'm not going to have a remainder because I was able to distribute everything. I have equal groups here. If I were to have anything left here that I couldn't evenly distribute, that leftover amount would become the remainder. In this problem, I can see that everything's been distributed evenly. Now, to find my quotient, which is the answer to our division problem, I need to see how much is in each group. I have 2 tenths and 3 hundredths in each group. 2 tenths, 3 hundredths, 23 hundredths. And I always encourage them to check their answer. We could multiply our quotient by our divisor, and we should get our dividend if this math was all correct. So I'm going to model that really quick. Multiplying 23 hundredths times 4. 3 times 4 is 12. Carry this 1. 2 times 4 is 8, plus this 1 is 9. I have 2 digits behind my decimal point in my factor, so I need 2 digits behind my decimal point. in my product. I got 92 hundredths, which is what I started with, so I know my answer is correct.